We've got one more speaker for today before we take a short tea break. He's Mr. Sharat Chandra. Sharat's from India, and he's from Drishti Soft Solution. The title of his topic today is Fostering Open Source to Meet Enterprise Requirements. Let's welcome Sharat.
A software product company in the enterprise communication space, specializing in contact centers from India. Today I will be touching upon a few things. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me. This is the first time that we are participating in the Asterisk Conference and OST in the Southeast Asian region. So I would like to share a few thoughts which we have been seeing in similar markets. Some of them are mature, some of them are developing and growing. So I would like to take this opportunity to share some of the experiences with some open thoughts and questions. The first topic, like Vanitha has introduced, I would be touching up on a few things. We are in a community which is driven by Asterisk, and it's an excellent platform through which we harness our products and take it to the market. One of the key interesting things lies in the fact that it's not just the owner or the harnessing team who has made the platform who is responsible for the products, but a lot depends upon we ourselves as well. We take these products to the market, build supporting applications over it, and take it to the market. So the never-ending war with the hardware, the cost of computing has decreased. Hence, it's now possible that we can build very powerful applications for enterprise communications. But one of the key interesting challenges is we are fighting a war between the free and the value game. The market is picking up. Like Greg has earlier told that 16% of the telephone endpoints are now on Asterisk. In the developing markets, things have been very good. There were examples of US Army using Asterisk. There are examples of German municipalities and many other big organizations in Europe using them. But when we come back to Asia, some of the applications are still lacking. We are playing in a domain of SMB and medium enterprises. The big enterprises are still a bit beyond. Before we take up, thanks for the team again, and I would like to introduce. Drishti is founded in 2003. It's a software product company built using the latest methods of service-oriented architecture and model-driven approach. It has a strong presence now with partnered with multiple technology companies in the local geographies, has its head office in India, and has regional support and sales presence in almost all of the big countries in the region. Also, because of its business and customer-facing innovation, it's awarded by Red Herring Asia in 2010 for being the 100 most promising businesses. NASSCOM, the elite software organization, has put Drishti on the Emerge 50 list. Also, Ameo is the recipient of many awards from premier contact center research firms from Europe like TMCnet, ContactCenter.com, and NASSCOM. What we have in a nutshell is a service-oriented architecture-based all-in-one suite which provides requirements, which fulfills the requirements of any enterprise, be it a BPO, be it healthcare industry, banks, contact centers, government, or standalone information systems. Also, using the same open standards, we also could innovate on a couple of things using LearnSys algorithm and PACE to come up with next generation tools. Traditionally, contact center industry was seen as a voice system. This knowledge we have inherited from the West, where contact center was 30 to 40 years old history. So our present knowledge of contact centers has been driven by the concepts of an agent, a supervisor, and a manager, and this is how call center works. Over the past 3-4 years, we have seen that voice is not let alone. We now have an email, a chat, SMS, web, video, and who knows what's going to be in the picture tomorrow. Newer medias would come. And the products need to be built to be future-proof so as to enhance the today's as well as future requirements. So Amio, the all-in-one suite, is a future-proof product which is built with the methods that it can interoperate with multiple media, multiple products, with very ready published APIs so as to come up with new requirements as well. Contact centers and enterprises are no more tied with the fact that they need to talk in terms of ports. Though we call that hardware is out and software is in, still, in our day-to-day business, we still talk on terms of how many ports of PBX, how many ports of phones, or how many ports of IVR do we require. The platform that we are dealing with right now does not necessarily need us to talk in those terms. This is why we require new methods, new strategies in coming up with ground and path-breaking products into the market. Tomorrow's enterprises need is not in terms of I need some 30 ports of voice logger, some 20 ports of agents, but their requirements would come up with the fact that this is my business, can your technology mold itself so as to help me run my business? So the applications need to add strength to this community, give flexibility in mapping their processes. That is the time when we actually are going to win the war against the hardware, the war against the legacy products. Close to 1,000 plus customers from diverse industry vertical, right from BPOs, banking, hospitality, are using the product in the region. A few of the reference customers range right from Acer Computers in Australia, Air Mekong, the nearest example, Indovision, a few banks, consulting firms like KPMG, Network 18, Book My Show, and e-commerce biggies like Myntra, Med Global, and Flipkart. So the question I already introduced you earlier, the question is the free versus value. Yes, considering the past 5 years, yesterday and today, we have a lot of things sorted out. We now have more touch points in the market, more companies investing on these platforms to build products, and there is more presence. I have written two contradictory questions here. Question number 1, why does open source sell? And question number 2, why doesn't open source sell? It's a never-ending debate. When we see that, okay, we are a community of businessmen sitting over here and selling products, but when we ask the question, did we really move on to the enterprise? Are we selling it based upon value, or is it being sold because it's free? Those are the questions which, the answers to those questions bring us back to these two basic questions. In our earlier discussions, some of our friends, technology friends, have introduced regarding many innovations, the Skype Connect innovation, and also some other innovations on the UI and telephony products. But just like Greg has introduced us, the biggest problems what we face is of poor integrators and suppliers creating a barrier. By poor integrators, what we mean is, like, in case we do not come up with the right approach of delivering the solution, we will lose the face for the entire value chain that we are carrying together as a big family sitting here. It is important that, yes, we do agree that most of the products, in fact, to that matter, from the software side, 95 to 99% of the products are made in West. It's hard or difficult to count any of the products which are made locally. But this is a proposition, value proposition, and this platform, the Asterisk community, helps us make products locally. It's an advantage that we need to take. But lest we forget we are going to take the other path, wherein we will risk in the game of free versus value. Let's have a quick look about what enterprises need. I have just tried to list some of the things. I am sure you would be having much more points being present in the business day to day. These are based upon some of my analysis in the markets that I could understand in the Southeast Asian region. There are two kinds of organization. One is a growing organization and other is a established organization which would still want to grow. A growing organization, the differences in approaches with these two organizations is like a growing organization always keeps on experimenting methods to grow its business. It has little capital, so it would like to start small but has a high change rate in policies because they are on the experimentation phase. They would like to start small, experiment with it, and in case it's a success, they will keep on expanding on it or else keep on innovating. That is how they will have to compete with the big organizations which are already present in the market. Innovation is the key for these kind of organizations. Since they are a growing organization, they do not have much of the policies which are already in line with their activities. So they usually would like to go with a think, build and grow approach. Not a package bundled solution like this XYZ, it will meet your requirements of ABC. And again, these growing organizations, because of their lesser volumes, have a cutthroat competition. And they have to innovate each and every day, not just to grow, but to survive in the market. Summarizing requirements of products in the market, one of the two key things which come up are they need the products to be cost effective and they need the products to be agile. Agile because, yes, they keep experimenting, change management